Hey replay viewers, thank you so much for checking out my replay. This is the 30 Herbs in 30 Days series that I am doing from inside of Golden Poppy Herbal Apothecary. And for those of you watching in the replay, you can still tap the screen and leave me hearts. That lets me know that you've enjoyed what you learned about. And if you have questions, since you obviously can't ask questions while you're watching the replay, feel free to go to our website. That's the website right there, goldenpoppyherbs.com/basics of herbalism. You can find the contact us page, send us some questions, and while you're on that page, go ahead and sign up for our email newsletter list, and you will get our free ebook on the basics of herbalism, so you can learn more about how to use herbs, what using herbs even means. All right. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for another 30 Herbs in 30 Days scope. So for those of you who are on live, hi Cherise, hi Herbally, yay! My name is Sarah and I am an herbalist and a nutritionist. I own Golden Poppy Herbal Apothecary. It is a retail store and clinic located in Fort Collins, Colorado. We also sell our products online. goldenpoppyherbs.com/basics of herbalism is our website where you can sign up for our newsletter list again and get our free ebook on herbal medicine. So we have been doing this series in September to teach people about herbalism and herbal medicine. A lot of people maybe use herbs at home and don't even realize that they're kind of doing it in a medicinal way, or they want to start using herbs, or maybe you have never heard of herbalism and you just randomly came across my scope. And if that's the case, then that's welcome, and I'm excited to have you here. So just to clarify ahead of time, even though I am in Colorado and talking about herbs, I'm not going to be talking about the most famous herb that is very well known in Colorado. There's lots of other people who are probably talking about that on Periscope, and you should go follow them. I'm going to be talking about the other medicinal herbs that you can use. So that's for Cass, that's not particularly relevant. Do you even live? I do, actually, but that's also not relevant to this Periscope. So the herb that I'm going to be talking about today, as I hinted in my title, is my favorite herb for healing the skin, and that is an herb called plantain. So it's funny, I say plantain, and a lot of times people will assume I mean like plantain, like the little mini bananas. I blocked him, everybody, don't worry. People think I mean like those little mini bananas that you get at the grocery store, or mini banana like things that are also called plantains, but that's not the plant that I'm talking about. I'm talking about Plantago species. So this is actually a rather common weed, essentially, if you will, that grows around in Colorado. Use it on your dog's paws. Awesome, that's great. So in Colorado, anyways, it grows all over the place. It grows in disturbed soils. The photo that's in the background of kind of my little Periscope logo that I started off with today is a picture of the plantain leaf, and you can go check that out on the replays if you want to. So what I love so much about plantain, see some, yeah, sure, here, I'll show you. This is the actual plantain herb. This is it dried. We don't stock fresh herbs in our store because they go bad rather quickly, but you can most likely find plantain growing around you. I'm sure there's some really good resources for whatever part of the world. I think it's, I don't know if it grows all over the world, but at least in the United States, it's a pretty ubiquitous growing plant. This is a really awesome herb to know about for first aid purposes. My store is Golden Poppy Herbs, so goldenpoppyherbs.com for those who asked. If someone could type in the comments goldenpoppyherbs.com, that would be awesome, so everyone could see it. It'd be really helpful. So plantain is my go-to herb for healing the skin. And when I'm talking about healing the skin, I'm definitely talking about like cuts and scrapes. You could actually use it for acne. Someone said something about herbs for acne earlier. Cuts and scrapes, sunburns, goldenpoppyherbs.com. Thanks, Sharice, it's awesome. It's a total yard weed. It is. It is a weed that most people don't pay any attention to, and that is what is so fabulous about it. Is it's so inconspicuous, but it's so wonderful. So it's a really soothing herb. So if you have a sunburn, or you fell and scraped your knee, or your dog stepped on some broken glass, anything like that, you can use plantain to heal and soothe the irritated skin local to Colorado. We do have a store, Sandy. It's in Fort Collins, Colorado. If you check out our website, you should be able to, you can Google us to Google map us and find out where we're located. So some of the properties of plantain, the main thing that it does is it actually speeds the healing of your skin tissues. So it's this really wonderfully amazing herb. So if you apply it, what it does is it's cooling, so it's going to soothe any inflammation. It's slightly moistening, so it'll help, you know, if, especially like with sunburns, it'll help if just that like dry, tight feeling that you get. And it's ever so slightly antimicrobial, although I don't really use it in the antimicrobial sense. Really what I use it for is just its skin healing properties. So if, like calendula, shouldn't use it if there's a sign of infection. You know, actually, I would use calendula if there's a sign of infection, because calendula is even more antimicrobial than plantain. And in fact, I use the two together on a pretty regular basis for skin healing stuff. The herb that you don't want to use if there's sign of infection is comfrey, actually. It doesn't heal so quickly. Comfrey is the herb that can heal in an infection. So definitely a different one. I will do a scope on that one at some point too. And by the way, I have been saving my scopes. So if you go to the goldenpoppyherbs.com/basics of herbalism page on our website, I have a link to all of the replays that are saved in the catches. Hi, Julie. Thanks for joining us. So you can go back and learn about the herbs that I've already talked about. So plantain is really nice because it is so ubiquitous. If you recognize it, you can use it fresh. And using the fresh herb is so wonderful. All you have to do is pick up the fresh leaf. You can just bruise it in between your hand, and then you can apply it directly on whatever cut or scrape you just got. You can apply it directly to your sunburn, that type of a thing. If you don't, you know, have it growing around you, or if you're not quite comfortable wildcrafting plants like that, you can keep dried plantain around, and all you would need to do is essentially make yourself a cup of plantain tea with maybe some muslin cloth or whatever the easiest way is for you to make some tea. And you can either dip a washcloth into the tea and then apply that topically, or if you've used like a little muslin bag to put the plantain in, and after you've made the tea, you can take the plantain baggie and put that directly on like the sunburn or the cut or the scrape. So that's a really, really nice way to just kind of have plantain around for just emergency purposes. The other way that we really love to use plantain for kind of like longer term purposes is we infuse plantain into our skin healing salve. So this is kind of our all-purpose remedy salve. As you can see, it's green from all the herbs that we infuse into it. You can, yeah, absolutely drink the tea. Yeah, 100% drink the tea of plantain. Plantain is really, really safe for pretty much everybody. And after I finish talking about topical uses, I'm going to talk about internal uses of plantain as well. So what we do with this is we infuse plantain, and our skin healing salve is actually calendula, comfrey, and plantain. We infuse those herbs into the oil, and then we add beeswax, and then we add a little bit of lavender essential oil. So this is kind of our go-to remedy for all sorts of skin issues. So cuts, scrapes, chapped lips, all of those types of things. So someone had talked about earlier not using comfrey on cuts or scrapes if there's signs of infection. That is the case. Again, if you make sure to follow me so you get notified when I scope, comfrey is one of the herbs that I will be talking about at some point in this series. And I'll give you more details on that whole shenanigans with comfrey and infections and things like that. Beeswax cream. So basically, what's really nice about this is that it's super portable. So this is something, I keep a mini version of this in my little herbal first aid kit that I keep in my like camping kit in my backpack when I go out hiking and things like that. Because you know, when you're hiking and you're out in the woods, or you're in a true first aid, not even necessarily like a first aid situation, but you don't always have the ability to make tea. And having it in an infused oil in a salve is a really easy and portable way to just have it with you wherever you go. So this is one of our favorite favorite products, most popular products in the store as well too. And for everyone who's watching from elsewhere, you can get these products on our website. So, okay, so that's kind of the topical uses of plantain. So on to the internal uses of plantain. So I would say that 99% of the time when I'm working with clients on digestive issues, I give them a digestive healing tea. And every single time I give someone a digestive healing tea, I start with plantain, because like the skin on the outside of your body, the lining of your digestive tract is a dermis layer, and it reacts similarly to the plantain in that when you're drinking a tea of plantain, you're essentially bathing your digestive tract with the healing properties of the plant, and that speeds the healing of your digestive tract. So for those of you who are watching, are you familiar with the term leaky gut? If you are, just type in yes, or you can even type in a sad face if you know what leaky gut is, or if you've experienced it. But leaky gut is essentially when your digestive tract, the lining of your digestive tract has, Melody, definitely become compromised. And what happens is, through a series of potentially complicated events, but a lot of different things can cause this to happen, it basically becomes a little bit more perforated. So just like if you got a cut or scrape on your skin, and it's exposed, the under layers, that's what happens with leaky gut. So because your digestive tract lining is a dermal layer, just like your skin, you can use the same herbs to heal your digestive tract that you can use on your skin. And my favorite one to start with is plantain. The reason I like using plantain internally is because it's very effective. It's nourishing as well. It's a green plant, so it has a lot of vitamins and minerals, a lot of antioxidants. It's also a very neutral plant, so it isn't super hot or super cold. It's not spicy. It has a pretty neutral flavor. It's rather nice in tea, and it doesn't have almost any contraindications. In fact, I really don't think it has any contraindications. I never say never, because people are always going to react in ways that you can't expect. So I never say never, but it's a really wonderful herb to get started with. So just making yourself a cup of plantain tea. If you experience any kind of digestive issues, or if you think that you have leaky gut, plantain tea, super simple. Flavor, it's kind of hard to explain. It's sort of slightly green tasting, but if you've had like a chamomile tea or something like that, it's really mellow by itself. It really doesn't have much, I don't know how to describe it. Herbal, it's not like a really gross herbal tea. It's not bitter. No, it's not bitter. It's moistening, and bitter plants tend to be drying for the most part, but no, not bitter. I would put it more in the like ever so slightly sweet category, but no, it's not really even sweet. It's very neutral. I don't know if you've ever had nettles tea, it's kind of like that. So what we typically do when I'm formulating earthy tasting, that's a good way to put it too. So this product, this is our tummy tea. I've talked about this a couple times already, maybe because I think everybody should be drinking tummy tea every single day. Most of my private clients drink tummy tea every day, because the root of all your health starts in your digestion, right? So plantain is one of the main ingredients in our tummy tea. So this tea is formulated to help relieve a lot of the symptoms that are associated with digestive issues. So it's got the plantain for healing. It has fennel if you experience gas and bloating, peppermint if heartburn's a little bit of an issue for you. It's got some cinnamon to help warm your digestion. So if you have low digestive fire, cinnamon helps with that. It's also got a little bit of meadowsweet, which can be anti-inflammatory. It's really nice, especially for people who do experience leaky gut or have any sort of like digestive inflammation. So again, this is the tummy tea, has plantain in it. Really great place to start if you experience any sort of digestive issues. So that's kind of my little synopsis on plantain. Oh, someone asked about acne. So I'll talk about that really specifically, because that's a really interesting way to also use plantain. So if you are someone who does experience a lot of acne, or you have a history of cystic acne, that kind of stuff, you could actually use plantain tea as an herbal wash on your face to start healing some of those you know, like scars or, you know, just like the redness and irritation. So essentially, like after you wash your face in the evening, you could again take a washcloth and dip it into some plantain tea and just apply it topically, kind of like a toner essentially to your skin. It's a tea, it's not going to leave your skin feeling sticky or anything as long as you haven't put honey in it. And you can apply it directly to your skin and then put your moisturizer on afterwards, and that is going to start helping to cool and soothe some of the inflammation that you might be experiencing. I don't know if it would necessarily work so well. It's not like a spot treatment, but if like cystic kind of chronic acne is more of your problem, that would be a really nice way to use it. So for those of you who are watching live, does anyone have any questions or thoughts about Plantain? Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. And all the little hearts floating up on the screen. It's awesome. So I know that there are several of you who have been following me for a little while. I appreciate it. It's awesome. It's always good to see you here. Sharice, thank you as well. Again, make sure you are following me so you get notified when I come on and talk about herbs again. Check out the website. It's goldenpoppyherbs.com/basics of herbalism. We have a blog that has a lot of herbal information, and if you get our newsletter and our free ebook, started following today here, and Instagram. Awesome. I'm glad posting to Instagram is working. I'm really not that good at it, so it's good to know that people see it. If you sign up for our newsletter, you get our free ebook on the basics of herbalism, and we do have a lot of awesome information on the blog there as well. So thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you all have a nice day, and I will see you tomorrow.